I believe that this could very well just be the beginning of Beam's legendary comeback and $1. That's what I still have my sights on for this bull run, even though that's not financial advice. Now, some people may be thinking, okay, it's impossible for Beam to reach the price of $1 and all this type of stuff. Well, why not? Let's say we assume, during a fully fledged bull run, Bitcoin goes to the price of $300,000. Let's say market cap at that point would be around $6 trillion. And let's say, Ethereum maybe reaches around a $2 trillion market cap. Now, let's say that were to happen. Now, out of those two projects alone, are we saying that, let's say, around $50 billion can't flow into this? Now, that's the market cap that Beam would have, considering current circulating supply, if it were to reach the price of $1. So this is just a way to take a look at it. I think it's still far from over. Not to mention, blockchain gaming, it's on the rise. I get it, the narrative isn't the best as of right now, but really, Beam is one of the premier players in the blockchain gaming space. And not to mention, the hype has surpassed something like Gala. It has surpassed something like Engine, which, historically people view as, these premier projects within this space. But now that Beam has this recognition, it has the hype, it has the anticipation, it has the exchange listings, it just has to wait for a liftoff. That's the way to take a look at it. Because when we take a look at Beam, I get it. People seem to think it's a little bit boring because blockchain gaming, they think, has no future. So they're like, okay, what's the point of surpassing Gala and Engine in terms of hype? Well, let me explain why. It's because it matters due to the fact that hypothetically the blockchain gaming market is predicted to be worth over $300 billion by 2030 according to Grandview Research. Now, some people may be thinking, okay, that's 2030, that's still ages away. Now, I don't think it matters because during a fully fledged bull run, people care about the narrative, they care about the anticipation, they care about what something could be as opposed to what it already is. So when I take a look at something like Beam, yes, I get it. It's not necessarily focused on the biggest market of all time, but blockchain gaming is one of the narratives that people pretty much focus on. Of course, people like layer one blockchains, like for instance, Ethereum, Solana. People love that. They also love Bitcoin, of course. But then naturally, people also love other sectors. For instance, DeFi, NFTs, blockchain gaming. I would arguably say it's like top 6 pretty much within, the markets that people usually focus on because, of course, there's also meme coins. So yeah, again, I think it's pretty much top 6. Now, here's the thing as well. When I take a look at something like Beam, the way you take a look at it is that it's not as bad as what some people may think because it has other aspects beyond just blockchain gaming. Even though I get it, it's pretty much, really known for only blockchain gaming, but we'll have to take a look at the other sectors of Beam because I think this does really add a unique selling point when it comes to the attention of Beam, even though I'm not telling anyone to buy it. I can only speak on my behalf, but we'll have to take a look at BeamSwap, which is a decentralized exchange. So that's good, right? It's focused on the DeFi market. It's not going to be the biggest decentralized exchange of all time. I mean, come on. But then it's still a good addition. Not to mention, there's the Beam Layer 0 bridge, which is a bridging solution to transfer tokens between Beam and other blockchains. Really, it's nothing that special, but during a fully fledged bull run, people, they care about this type of stuff. They might never use it, they might never care about it, but then they still care. But even besides that, there's something called Sphere, which is an NFT marketplace. Now, NFTs, I get it. They're pretty much, kind of down into the abyss, some people may argue, but I think better days are ahead. Like for instance, right? According to Grandview Research, yet again, because they like to predict things, the NFT market is predicted to reach over $200 billion by 2030. So that's pretty big. And again, when I say Sphere, this NFT marketplace, some people may be thinking, oh, are you talking about the Las Vegas Sphere? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this one. This one's not as cool as that, I'll say that. But then, you know what? It's still a good addition, in my opinion. Not to mention, we'll take a look at BeamOS, which is a portal for exploring tools and apps on the chain, and also a Beam, or should I say the Beam Block Explorer, which is a tracking platform for all Beam transactions and statistics. I don't think people really care about that, but you know what? It's a good addition, in my opinion. Now, when I take a look at Beam, it's pretty much a complete project. All it needs to do now is wait for liftoff, in my opinion, which is the market hypothetically doing very well. Now, why would it not do well, though? Because we have to take a look at the trajectory of Bitcoin. As of right now, it's beginning to approach $100,000. Could it exceed that? Maybe. Only time will tell, but it's heading in a good direction. I think the market is beginning to recover. And take a look at Beam not too long ago. Look at the hype and attention it had before. And we got to think about this logically. Beam, when the market was doing good, it was not left behind. It wasn't a project that people forgot about. People believed in this, and some of the volume did flow into this. Now, historical performance doesn't guarantee future performance, but the way to take a look at it is that this is a good sign nonetheless, because at least we know historically, we don't know the future, right? But at least historically, Beam did gain attention when the market was doing good. Not to mention, I think another factor that has Beam really be put on this special level compared to other, blockchain gaming projects out there is the fact that, we have to take a look at the one that launched Beam is something called the Merit Circle DAO. Now, this is very special. It's because when you take a look at what is a DAO, that stands for DAO. That stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Now, this is basically an entity that is designed without a central point of control. And if we take a look at it deeper, right, we'll have to see that, it is designed to be fully autonomous. Again, without a central point of control. But even besides that, the rules of a DAO are established by a core team of community members and is executed through smart contracts. And to obtain voting power in a DAO, users are typically required to own its governance token. In this case, people who do hold Beam can allegedly vote when it comes to this. So this is what I like about Beam. It's very amazing in terms of the concept. It's not really focused on, the most exciting markets, but I think blockchain gaming is really good. Even though many people would argue that, blockchain games are so bad and all this type of stuff as of right now. And generally they are bad, but it doesn't mean that it won't improve in the future. Because after all, we have to take a look at the mission of what Beam is trying to do specifically when it comes to blockchain gaming. Like for instance, one of the main components of Beam is the Beam SDK. SDK stands for Software Development Kit, and this right here allows game developers to choose from a variety of tools that can be used to fuel and structure their in-game blockchain elements, because after all, Beam is an open source blockchain specialized for gaming. So yes, it's a very interesting project, not the most fantastic of all time, but I do like it. And keep in mind, at the price of $1, considering current circulating supply, market cap again would be around $50 billion. It's not too bad. It's around 124x from here, but again, like I mentioned earlier on the video, it doesn't seem like such a crazy amount. Now, I can't tell the future again, but what I can control is myself, right? I can accumulate more, hold, and I just wait, that's it. Because I am not in here to day trade or, swing trade. That's not my style. I'm willing to believe in Beam because I don't want to put my savings in a savings account because it's a little bit boring, and also I don't want to go into the S&P 500. But then when I take a look at Beam and just cryptocurrencies in general, my fear of losing, my fear of seeing my portfolio go down is greatly outweighed by my desire to see my portfolio do good. So then if the pros outweighs the cons, at least emotionally for me, I'm going to believe in cryptocurrencies. Now, of course, I'm not entering into random microcaps, but then I'm just saying still, something like Beam feels pretty good to me, and only time will tell. But $1, man, I just don't see why not. The market is going to wake up when it's going to wake up. In my opinion, it doesn't matter if I draw some random triangles. It doesn't matter if I draw SpongeBob or, Mickey Mouse or whatever. It doesn't matter who I draw on a price chart. I can draw Brock Lesnar. It doesn't matter, man. Here's the thing. The market is going to do what it's going to do. Sometimes people say, oh, you got to pull up a price chart and draw a random triangle. What is that going to do? Is that going to demand the market to wake up? It doesn't care what I draw. It's going to do what it's going to do, right? So then I'm just going to control it. I can control dollar cost average anytime I acquire income, acquire my favorite projects, hold, and I just wait. That's it. And again, at the price of $1, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.